Welcome back to Ask Radar. I've got one big question for you today, and it comes from a lot of different people, so don't have one name written down here, but the question is, what do I think about YouTube skaters? And so just to get us all on the same page, we're talking about people who have sponsors or a pro model just because of their YouTube popularity and not necessarily because of their skill level. And so you see that a lot these days, and just hear my thoughts about it. I used to be one of these guys to a degree. So back in the day, like 2007, 2008, my old YouTube channel, Aaron L, had about 42,000 subscribers. And so I got some sponsors out of that. I got a wheel sponsor, a deck sponsor, and a clothing sponsor. But I was never that good. So the thing is, I was popular for doing trick tips. And I could do trick tips well because I failed a lot. I know what it's like to over-rotate, under-rotate, have your balance wrong this way, flip too much, flip too little. So I was basically sponsored for being bad at skateboarding, right? And so, but from my perspective, why not accept free product? And from the company's perspective, why not advertise through this guy who can reach 42,000 people? So, from a business perspective, I don't think either of us are doing anything wrong. And let's talk about the pro skateboarding industry as it is right now. So, do you guys remember Josiah Gatlin? He was big a few years back. He was up and coming AM. He had this crazy footage he was always putting out. And then he just quit trying to be pro. He just quit like professional skateboarding. And if you see this quote by him, I'll link it in the description. He basically says that being a pro skater is just a bad idea. Because even if you are successful and even if you get to be a pro, your career will last 5 or 10 years on average. And then you're out on the street. Unless you're one of the top names and you're really killing it, you're probably going to leave the industry with not that much money saved up and zero job experience with anything afterward. And you don't have a fallback career. You didn't spend years in college because you were skateboarding the whole time. And so he talks about that and how for him it only made sense to quit now when he was still young and start pursuing, I think he went into graphic design or animation or something like that. And to focus on that now before he's in his 30s and just getting started. So if you think about that and the risks of being a pro skater in the normal classic way, it makes a lot of sense to be a YouTube guy. And so a couple of the advantages of doing it that way are you don't need to skate 24/7 because your popularity isn't necessarily based on how good you are. You could have really funny vlogs or really informative trick tips or all this different kinds of stuff. And you can do that and still have a normal job that you will eventually fall back on when you're too old to skate. And you're your own boss. So no one can come and kick you off of your YouTube channel. But if you're a pro, you say the wrong thing to the owner or you scratch his car in the parking lot and you're on the street. And then you're blackballed from Dwindle or, whatever. Things are out of your control that way. And it'd be really easy to end up on the street with nothing. So doing it yourself, you're in control of your own income, you're in control of what you do, you're in control of your own image and everything like that. And so there are some issues though. I understand like clickbaity titles and just kind of garbage content just to get views. I get it. Now I've played the YouTube game, I've done the numbers, and to do it from professionally as your only job full time, you would need to get about 5 million views a month. Something like that, assuming you're not selling anything. And so, yeah, you get people who are really hawking their sponsors. This video is brought to you by Grizzly Grip Tape, that kind of stuff. You'll see that a lot. You'll see, the clickbait and all that kind of stuff. Tons of videos just to build up extra views. I get it from this perspective. I know it sucks. I try to avoid doing that on this channel. But I think it's smart from a business perspective to do it yourself instead of trying to get into the pro game because it's really easy to fall short of that. And the second part of this question was who some of my favorites are. I don't watch a lot of these guys, not because I have a problem with them. I just don't usually keep up on all the vlogs and stuff like that. But I do like Chris Chan, Carlos Lastra, and Sean Rodriguez. Mike Osterman, who's a pro freestyler, he also has a vlog series and trick tips and stuff like that I like to watch. So those are some of the guys I like. Josh Katz isn't bad either. I like some of his stuff. If there's any more that I should check out, let me know in the comments. But that's it for this time. Make sure to write your questions for the next batch of Ask Ryder videos in the description here. And until next time, here are some more videos that I've done recently that you might want to check out. I have stuff from all different corners of the skateboard world that I work on. You can see some of those things right here. If you don't want to miss anything in the future, make sure you hit the subscribe button above and stay tuned for next time. Thanks for watching.